We've all experienced triggers, mental breakdown, or emotional turmoil that has slowed down our progress. This goes anywhere from a simple encounter with a rude customer to a traumatizing childhood, an argument with your partner, a breakup, low self-esteem, or unhealed wounds. I learned in recent years that in order to develop a long-lasting productivity system towards achieving success, I needed balanced self-management skills. Self-management is your ability to regulate your behaviors, thoughts, and emotions in an effective way to achieve personal and professional goals. Here is where I ran into the problem. When attempting to be productive, I, like most people, concentrated mainly on the behavioral part of self-management, which looks something like setting goals, utilizing productivity tools, creating color-coded calendars, organizing to-do lists, managing time effectively, and even taking breaks in between. All these tasks are great and very much needed, but when it comes to emotions, most of us tend to downplay its impact because of this whole misconception that you need to
stop listening to your feelings.
You gotta be stronger than your emotions.
This is true only to a certain extent. I can't speak for anyone else, but for me, suppressing my thoughts and emotions has always come back to bite me in the rear.
I like to kick people's butts. I'm gonna kick your butt.
Productivity expert and ex-doctor Ali Abdaal said in regards to his first ever written book that the secret to productivity isn't discipline, it's joy. More on discipline later. As you probably experienced it, thoughts and emotions carry the potential to control your level of discipline, influence your words, and impact what you decide to do or don't do. Today I want to share 2 valuable skills to empower you in becoming the master of your own mind, which is the missing piece that you need to stay in a cycle of productiveness.
Let's finish my workout. I thought it was going to be brighter. Right now it's almost 6 a.m. but I still see stars. Yay.
According to research by organizational psychologist Tasha Yurch, 95% of people think they're self-aware, but really only 10 to 15% actually are. Self-awareness is the ability to recognize and understand your own thoughts, emotions, behavior, and actions. It involves evaluating an honest and clear perception of yourself, including strengths, weaknesses, values, beliefs, intentions, and motivations. I can testify that this will take a lot of courage and lowering of your pride. If you're anything like I was, lacking conscious awareness gives control to your negative thoughts and emotions, making you act and react in unlikable ways without you realizing until it's already over. Yes, like that one thing you said, but you wish you hadn't. Practicing self-awareness is an art, and one effective way to do so is by training your observation skills. Breathe and take a moment to notice your surroundings, like the space above your head, the sensation of your fingertips, the movement of your blinking eyelids. These things are so second nature we don't think about them when we do it. My journey of conscious living began when I came across this book called The Untethered Soul. I cannot recommend Michael Singer's work enough to anyone who's ready to let go of chaos and start living consciously. On to skill number 2. Emotional regulation. Being self-aware is knowing, but we still have to take action. Emotional self-regulation, which is the ability to control and manage these unwanted thoughts and emotions you're aware of.
Mamma mia!
Emotional self-regulation plus knowing your purpose yields a powerful byproduct, automatic actions of self-discipline, which will inherently increase productivity. It won't come to everyone in this exact order, but my story is that before I discovered my why in life, God had to take me through a period of intense reprogramming of my subconscious mind, living consciously, believing myself, and trusting Him so that when He's ready to reveal His vision for my life, I would take action because I would no longer be carrying so much mental and emotional baggage from my past, which would have slowed me down.
You're cooking in a burnt pan!
Intentionally regulating myself in every aspect is what's helping me overcome feelings of laziness and procrastination.
Niece and nephew, everybody should get rice cooker.
Let's go back to discipline. Isn't it what every motivational speaker ever always tell you to do? Yet you struggle with self-discipline to complete goals you've set for yourself because you're imprisoned by your mind? A poor mindset isn't limited to negative thoughts. It's also mentally choosing habits that doesn't get you closer to accomplishing your goals. Now, to fulfill your goals, you need good habits. And to build good habits, you need mental clarity and emotional stability. Remember that at the end of the day, no one can save you if you don't choose to want to be saved. Developing a strong mindset and emotional intelligence is crucial because they help you to handle challenges, make wise decisions, stay focused on your goals, and enable you to enjoy the process, not just get through it. This is the key to achieve your goals with lasting determination without relying on motivation. You can totally use willpower to achieve goals, but depending solely on willpower without addressing deeper underlying issues that highly influence your decisions can lead to burnout before and or after reaching your goals. This is a common pattern observed among many successful people who didn't prioritize their well-being to begin with because everyone's so busy chasing success. I agree that oftentimes we must do things we don't want to do, and that indeed does require self-discipline. But what I consider to be toxic discipline is when one who is mentally and emotionally unstable relies solely on motivation and willpower, forcing themselves to do things they don't want to do, to just work harder. The results? Severe exhaustions and self-sabotage as this battery-operated willpower approaches 0%.
How is it?
Good.
Enjoying yourself. Oh.
David Goggins put it best when he used the garage analogy to explain discipline. Your mind is like a fully cluttered garage from all the crap you grew up learning or unconsciously downloaded. Discipline in this context is like a car that needs dedicated parking space. Until you clean out and organize everything into its rightful spot, there's no room for discipline in your mind. Therefore, the whole mentality of,
Bro, you just need to get off your bum and do the hard thing. Stop listening to your feelings.
emotions are for the weak. All of these advice will only work for so long till your mind takes over again. That's right, it's in charge and nothing changes until your mindset changes. Having self-discipline is absolutely crucial to success. But it's not about forcing discipline. It's about mastering your negative thoughts and emotions to make discipline a more natural, effortless, and manageable part of your life. The journey to achieving your goals will always include doing things you don't feel like doing. It won't always be fun, but the process also doesn't have to be dreadful. In the end, it's the character you developed along the way that matters most. The key to effective self-regulation involves intentionally monitoring and actively managing your mental and emotional responses. This is not the same as to operate on emotions or to live by feelings, as some might misunderstand. It simply means realizing, processing, and using proper coping mechanisms to deal with negative thoughts and emotions instead of pushing it aside or packing it up as more baggage. I get it. Time is tight for many of us, but even with a hectic schedule, dedicating just 1 to 3 minutes, 3 to 4 times a day to practice self-awareness and regulating yourself can make a significant impact on your brain. As your brain wires itself to these new thought patterns, you'll be able to, in a healthier manner, easily filter out unwanted thoughts and emotions in the future. You'll instantly catch yourself in false thoughts and emotions and instantly say no to them. Soon enough, you'll be less triggered, less bothered, less affected by both internal and external negativity. Of course, this is not to say you'll never be triggered or tempted again. We're human, we do that. But you'll be able to let go quickly instead of letting these things like feelings of lack of enthusiasm or even mood-related factors drag out longer than necessary. Here are the most effective ways I've used to become a dominator of my thoughts and emotions, and you can too. By the way, the last tip is the hardest one to do, yet it's probably the one that can help set you free. Tip 1. Recognizing triggers. When you notice unpleasant emotions, take a moment to reflect on any negative thoughts, memories, situations, people, things, or events that triggered you to feel that way. Then ask yourself, why does this specific thing trigger me? Where did it all start? This differs from self-awareness because you're not only observing your inner state, but also everything happening around you. Tip 2. If you do not want to be controlled by your emotions, here's a 2-step secret you can start implementing. Step 1. Label. Or what I rather call
Tame it by naming it.
Label each emotion so you can express yourself more precisely, enabling you to find better coping strategies. For example, sometimes when you feel angry, anger isn't exactly the problem. It stems from sadness, feeling of inadequacy, even childhood abandonment. And understand why you are the way you are if you really want to be released from the oppression of the person you know isn't truly who you are. Step 2. Detach from it. You are inside of yourself, observing everything you're currently experiencing. How you detach is by saying, I feel angry, instead of, I am angry. What you're doing is directly separating yourself from your emotions. The result of these two action steps together is a step closer to creating a solid identity not tied to your current mental or emotional state. Tip 3. Challenge the thoughts you have about yourself and assumptions you have about people around you. Instead of reacting impulsively to negative thoughts, you'll learn to regulate your emotions by assessing the validity of your thinking.
That is absolute dog shit.
This requires you to reflect on your own beliefs, attitudes, and perceptions. When you catch yourself thinking negative and limiting things, ask if it's inherently true. If not, replace it with positive and realistic ones. For example, assuming that your partner is cheating on you, but in reality, this is coming from insecurity issues you've yet to deal with. Or, why hasn't this person responded to any of my text messages? What did I do wrong? Am I not enough? Am I not interesting? Really ask yourself if there's evidence supporting or contradicting these thoughts. Tip 4. Treat yourself right. That's self-compassion. Use positive affirmation and start approaching the affirmation with a willingness to believe in their potential of what they could become. They're not about deceiving you. Rather, they are about aligning your thoughts and beliefs with your true potential and aspirations. Tip 5. Develop adaptability, which just means being able to handle changing situations like a boss. What works for me is by picturing and writing down a set of possible challenges and a set of possible solutions of what I plan to do. So if this happens, I'll do that. If that person behaves like this, I will do this.
Don't be shy, put some more! Don't be shy, put some more! Don't be shy!
Of course, we can't 100% predict outcomes, but it's still a good idea to prepare. Tip 6. This is one of the most crucial things you'll ever do on your healing journey, and that's to forgive. Forgiveness is the most powerful way to heal, but rather difficult to do. When you forgive yourself, it releases guilt and shame. When you forgive others, it releases bitterness, anger, and resentment. This is not condoning what happened to us. It's about letting go of the past so we can finally heal and approach the life we dream of. I can even count the number of days I backslid into a lazy day that was supposed to be productive due to internal instability. And sometimes it's not even tragic. It's just the feelings of annoyance about things that happen around me. But on those days, I know to give myself grace, properly nourish my body, and find creative outlets to express myself. Of the many thousands